Hello, I'm FPX and welcome back to the video. Today I have something pretty interesting to share with you all because it is a Minecraft leak. So yeah, this is a really odd one that comes from the texture files of yesterday. If you don't know, Jasper's been working on brand new textures and he uploaded some brand new files yesterday, except the first time he did it wrong. And he actually, he said he zipped it wrong on Twitter and that it'll be fixed now. And the vast majority of people, like 99% of people, actually downloaded the fixed texture files because this was done just a few minutes after the original zip. How the original, files are still out there, and a lot of people who did get them managed to look through them and found something very interesting that I'm going to be sharing with you all in today's video. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. Like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, let's know you do this sort of thing. But let's get straight into talking about why this is so exciting, because I feel like you have to see the texture. It looks something like this in the files. And again, looking at it like this is really hard to tell what's going on. I mean, it looks like some weird, like shocked face thing. But if you look at it on an actual skin, because it's a helmet texture, you can see how it looks something like this. That's right, there is a green helmet found within the textures of this update. And this is really interesting because what's also coming in this update, because again, the most likely update that he's working towards with these textures, like the one they're maybe going to release it in, is the update Aquatic 1.13, because the textures are pretty much finished. So the original versions of the textures have something from that same update, and given that in the update Aquatic we have the turtle, and given that if you look back at the texture, it looks just a little bit like the, turtle shell. If you look at the top texture there, you have to imagine this is a turtle shell helmet. Again, that's the most likely candidate. You could maybe come up with another theory, but given the way it's tied on and given the squareness of it on your head, it looks like there is a turtle helmet in this update. And the turtle helmet is a really interesting idea because you could use it in so many different ways. It could be the new best helmet in the game, like better than diamond helmet, make the turtle helmet. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. They could make it some form of like, enchantability, spectrum. Like, oh yeah, you know how gold is better than, diamond to enchant? You could make turtle helmets more, way better than both those things, but it only gets, underwater enchantment. So it'll give you respiration on one of those things. That would be pretty cool too. There's a bunch of things you could do with the turtle helmet. I think it would be a really interesting idea, but I don't think realistically it will be coming to the game. And again, this is the part of the video where even though I know if I just spoke for like another 10 minutes about how great the turtle helmet would be, I know that would be the video that gets the most views and gets the most likes, gets the most money, whatever else. But the truth is when I make these news videos, I try to give you as much like actual truth in there. I feel like if you get to the end of the Toy Cat video, you should have more of the truth in your head. So even though it's not like the most popular thing to say, I'm going to say right here that I do not think this is actually coming in the next update. I think it's important that you know the skeptical truth at the very least, because although there is some chance this is happening in 1.13, I think there are so many factors against this being real. So first of all, even though I think this is a real thing that was in there, and I think it was a real thing Jasper was playing around with, I think the fact that this is the only leaked texture in there is a bit of an odd one. Like, if he accidentally leaked all of the updated aquatic things, why would we only get one leaked texture, which is the turtle helmet, something we've never heard about? I think that means he was either playing around with it himself, or maybe like it was just a version like that. It just seems very odd that he'd forget to remove, he'd remove all the textures but one and then go back and remove it later. Second of all, we've actually seen red herrings in the game textures before. If you don't know, skis were added by Dinnerbone way back in the earlier days of Minecraft snapshots, and he did it, to kind of like mess with people and be like, you're looking through the textures, not always going to be a thing. So we've seen red herrings before. This could be a little Jasper joke, but the fact that he removed it then afterwards makes that seem a bit weird. But even if this isn't a red herring, it doesn't seem like something too likely, because they've made big rants before about how like, oh yeah, we really don't want to encourage animal cruelty. The parrot and the chocolate thing, probably killed some number of birds until they did the campaign. The fact that like if you could, sharks aren't in the game because there's the whole like safety thing in real life. That's the official reason. So having all these different, animal safety reasons in Minecraft, it'd be a bit odd that if then after all that stuff, it's like, oh yeah, kill the turtle to get its helmet because the helmet is better than, normal stuff. That would be really odd. That would get them a big like no. And I think just there's too many reasons this wouldn't be true. I think there's a tiny chance that yeah, this is a real thing that's in the update Aquatic that he accidentally forgot to remove, that isn't a red herring, that isn't going to be removed later. But that last bit means that even if somehow it passes all those checks, if it somehow has all the different like unlikely events that you might think have happened, you got to bear in mind that many snapshot features have later been removed pretty much from the game entirely. Like think about the quiver. They brought, they put it into Minecraft, then they took it away, then they put it back for snapshots, but then they didn't really have a use. Think about the ruby. The ruby is a real texture that still exists inside a lot of the Minecraft files. It's not a real item because they removed it because they figured, like something else would work better. And in this case, the turtle shell helmet, you've got to imagine if this ever like becomes a real feature in updates, it'd probably be a bad thing. So the only thing I can imagine that they would do this as is if you can actually put a live turtle on your head somehow. But realistically, again, I don't think that's happening. I don't think this is a real item. I think this is either some form of funny red herring that he put in there to kind of mess with people, or it's something that he was playing around with and he didn't expect anyone to find, and he's a bit embarrassed that it got out there because he really didn't want that. Because again, even though it's been 18 hours now, he hasn't really tweeted, he hasn't responded to anything about it. So that makes me a little bit cautious about believing this, but I do think it's a really cool idea. I think it's a potential, like, 1% chance thing for the future, but I wouldn't put it at too much more likely than that. So yeah, this is the time they accidentally added, or maybe purposely added, the turtle shell as a helmet for Minecraft. I think it's a fascinating thing, and I hope you all enjoyed today's video where I spoke about it, because again, it's in these videos, I know how it would realistically work, that I could just lie to you non-stop and it would probably make better videos, but the truth is I make these videos because I want to tell you the truth about these sorts of things, because there's so many sources out there that are willing to do that thing I just said, where they'll go really crazy and exaggerating about pretty much anything they can, because, for some people that's what they want. But I think, hopefully you all enjoyed the video, hopefully you enjoyed actually hearing why this wasn't, perhaps going to be coming in there. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Let me know if you do want the turtle helmet, because I think if it did have some water abilities, I would be on board with it. But again, let me know your opinions, because for now, I'll see you all next time. Have a nice day. Goodbye.